Couch fam, welcome to my week 14 waiver wire video. This is the last week before playoffs, and also this is the last week of bye weeks. These are the teams on bye for week 14. The Cardinals and the Commanders. Again, there are no more bye weeks after this week. These are the last two teams that did not have their byes. Let's go on to the top quarterbacks to add. I wanted to focus a lot more on deep leagues this week because there really isn't too many waiver wire pickups. Some really good defenses, a lot of kickers. Other than that, there's not really too many players to pick up, and there's a lot of injuries, and we're running out of reserves even. But I did want to focus on super flex leagues and deep leagues and specialty leagues. Make sure you guys do have somebody to pick up, because in those leagues, there are definitely players you need to add. For quarterbacks, the top guys to add are going to be Josh Dobbs, Jake Browning, Gardner Minshew, maybe Jameis Winston if Derek Carr is out. I'm thinking there's a really good chance Derek Carr is going to be out. He's been getting really banged up this week, and it would shock me if he doesn't miss at least 1 week. And if you're in a deeper league or super flex league, look for Will Levis. I do like him in this matchup against the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins' D has been looking better, and I would say they are a good defense. Not great, but still kind of like the Chiefs or the old Chiefs. This offense is on fire. The Dolphins do have the best offense in the league. So teams need to play catch up. Teams need to throw the ball. That puts more pressure on the quarterback, makes him have to make more plays. And so Will Levis may get some bonus points in the fourth quarter. He might rack up some garbage time fantasy points. So good game script there, but we don't really trust him. Again, we're still in the deep super flex league territory here. Tommy DeVito, he is going to start for the Giants at QB for week 14. Aiden O'Connell, Mitch Trubisky with Kenny Pickett injured. And then for the Patriots, I think Bailey Zappi is going to start, but he didn't look too well, so maybe Malik Cunningham does take some snaps. Actually, I think Malik Cunningham will at least take some snaps. The question is, how many snaps will he take? How many plays will he be out there for? And for the Browns, it seems like they would start DTR if he's healthy. If not, they're going to go with Flacco. I'm not too sure. I mean, this is getting such deep league, such mushy, poopy, crappy territory here. It's quite disgusting with all these injuries. I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on here, but that's what seems to be the case. And also, we don't know if DTR is going to be healthy, so I kind of put both those guys on the same list there. Browns are playing the Jags. And also, Trevor Lawrence suffered a serious ankle injury, but he's going to be rehabbing around the clock and trying to play. I remember Russell Wilson did suffer a pretty bad injury, and he was waking up every 2 hours during the night, getting rehab and this and that. So we'll see if Trevor Lawrence is going to somehow be able to play. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Still, though, I don't think it matters too much as far as what's going on in fantasy. You're not really dying to pick up CJ Beathard and start him against the Browns. Moving on to running backs, the top guy to add is going to be Ezekiel Elliott. After that, not really too many other options. Yes, Derrick Henry is hurt, but I don't think he's going to miss too much time, if any. Yes, DeAndre Swift is hurt, or he was. I don't think he's really hurt. I think he's not going to miss any time. So we do have guys like Tajay Spears and Kenny Gainwell atop, but really, they're not really that good. Roschon Johnson, again, like this, you guys know I'm a big Roschon Johnson fan, but you know, there's 4 running backs on the Bears that get playing time. We'll see if Deontay Foreman is healthy or not. And yes, I'm counting Justin Fields as basically a running back. Antonio Gibson is on bye. Otherwise, he'd be a great add. So we'll see what's going on there. But remember, the Commanders are on bye. Rico Dow, the top handcuff for Tony Pollard, the top backup for the Cowboys. We got Chase Brown, who looked pretty good this year. Elijah Mitchell, best handcuff in all of football, but CMC looks like a freaking monster. We got Latavius Murray, Ty Chandler, Joshua Kelly as nothing more than a handcuff. Dearness Johnson seems to be the number 2 running back for the Jags. Ty Johnson is getting some run at the number 3 RB position for the Bills. Dalvin Cook, with Michael Carter no longer there in New York. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know these guys. I guess he's something if McKinnon misses more time. He's already missed a couple games. Zach Evans getting a couple touches. Matt Breida, a handcuff. Boston Scott, and DJ Dallas. I mean, I guess we can kind of just delete Boston Scott from this list, but I mean, yeah, you get where I'm going with this. Super deep league territory there, but they'd want to give you guys an exhaustive list. For wide receivers, we got Noah Brown. Tank Dell has been placed on IR. Unfortunately, he's out for the year. Demario Douglas is questionable. We'll see if he's able to play the number 1 receiver for the Pats when he is out there. Elijah Moore. Amari Cooper is hurt. Jonathan Mingo seems to be getting more and more targets, more and more playing time. I think Terrace Marshall was a healthy scratch this last game. DJ Chark's not really a target monster. So it's nice to see Jonathan Mingo developing a little bit more and seems to be kind of propping up to be the number 1 guy next year for the Panthers if they don't go and get a big name wide receiver or don't somehow get like a super amazing rookie wide receiver. He's definitely going to be a big part of the offense next year. A guy I did draft in a couple dynasty leagues, so that's good to see from him. We got Odell Beckham Jr., and now we're getting into deep league territory, if not already there. Quentin Johnston, Rashid Shaheed, who is questionable. He did miss last week's game. Parker Washington, all of a sudden, is a thing with Christian Kirk injured. Robert Woods, kind of a low upside wide receiver. He is old nowadays. And then we got Greg Dortch, who is on bye, but Hollywood Brown is banged up. Michael Wilson is banged up. If those guys are out, Greg Dortch is going to get a ton of playing time. For tight ends, Isaiah Likely is not rostered in over half the league somehow. That's probably more so people giving up on fantasy. He's rostered in every single competitive league I know of. Chik Okonkwo starting to come on now. So past couple of weeks, he is a real option at tight end, and I do trust him a lot more. I don't know if he's like a top 10 tight end, but he's pushing up there, top 12 maybe, so he is startable. We got Gerald Everett, who I do like. Tucker Kraft with Musgrave injured. And in kind of deeper league or tight end 2 territory, we've already entered that. Michael Mayer, Tanner Hudson, Tyler Conklin, Jawan Johnson. Even though he had a bad game last week, 0 points, I still don't think that'll happen 2 weeks in a row. Hunter Henry, Cade Auden, Daniel Bellinger, and Brevin Jordan seems to be the main tight end if Dalton Schultz misses any more time. For defenses, the guys you want to try and add are the Dolphins and Steelers D. Somehow they're rostered in almost every single league. So you probably can't get any of those two great defenses. But also the Texans, Saints, Patriots, and Packers. You could kind of throw in the Browns in there. And I do like the Lions because this could be a bad weather game. Weather is actually starting to affect games now, starting week 14. My chat on live stream said that it already happened. It really hasn't, but it's starting now. Like, we're going to see a lot more wind, a lot more rain, and maybe not snow this week, but we will start seeing snow eventually here really soon. So the Lions could get a boost with the weather and also playing the Bears in Chicago. But again, try to get one of these defenses. Texans, Saints, Patriots, Packers, Dolphins, Steelers. You can't go for the Browns or Lions. And then in deeper leagues, we have the Jags defense, Vikings D, and Colts D, who is probably the most underrated defense this year. Like, top 3 defense, pretty good schedule for the playoffs. I do like them. They're facing the Bengals this week. A little bit scary, but no Joe Burrow. Then they face the Steelers, Falcons, and Raiders. Vikings D is also underrated, but Colts D's been really good. They've always been really good in fantasy the past like 4 or 5 years. Maybe they had one off year last year. I don't remember, honestly, but if that's the case, other than that, they've been pretty good like the last 4 years. For kickers, lots of good names. I'm not ready to move on from Justin Tucker quite yet. Maybe he's getting old. Maybe he's losing it a little bit. Maybe he's not the ultimate field goal percentage guy with that miss that just happened in week 12. But I'm not ready to move on just yet. He's still pretty good. I'm still starting him. If I can pick him up off free agency, I'm doing that for free. I'm not going out my way to get him, though. I wouldn't burn a waiver claim. I wouldn't really spend more than $1 FAB on him. So I'm not doing any of that. I probably wouldn't even spend $1, to be honest, because I like these other guys. Still, I do think he's the best kicker now and the best kicker of all time. I have to really see some more evidence to be like, hey, this guy's fallen off. Not quite yet. Now, this isn't the matchup's actually good. I'm a little bit concerned about the weather. It's going to be in Baltimore. They're facing the Rams. So there is concern here. Baltimore weather not looking great. So I'm more concerned about the weather, not worried about the matchup at all, actually. I kind of like the matchup. Moving on, though, we have Jason Sanders. Still is a great kicker. He's been a great kicker the past few weeks, or ever since their bye week, whenever that was, like week 10. He's awesome. Has another awesome matchup against the Titans. If you can't get him, look for Harrison Butker, Jake Moody, Jake Elliott. I really like Blake Grupe this week. And if you can't get those guys, the rest of the list is right here. But really try to get one of these top 6 guys. That's what I recommend. Blake Grupe or better. And then we got Tyler Bass, who's okay. After that, I have concerns with all these guys. Daniel Carlson, no longer the guy we knew from last year. Keami Fairbairn, elite kicker, elite matchup, but it will be his first game back, assuming he does play. He's fully expected to play. I just don't know about starting him his very first game back. Like, I don't even know who the quarterback is for the Jets. I don't know how healthy Fairbairn is. I'm not 100% sure he's going to play this week. Like, only 99%, I guess. So there's just these question marks here. I'd rather go with one of the top 6 guys that I named off. But, if you want to move up Fairbairn like 2 spots, that's fine too. I'm a huge fan. After that, we got Dustin Hopkins on the Browns. This is just another one where, like, dude, I don't know who the quarterback is for the Browns. I don't know who the quarterback is for the Jags. I don't know about these injuries. Like, there's so many injuries at other positions. For the Jags D, for Amari Cooper. Like, I don't know what's going on in this game. Could be messy. I do like Dustin Hopkins. He's on fire this year, no doubt. So, like, you can even move him up, but dude, I don't know about this game. And then we got Matt Gay, pretty good kicker this year. Sleeper kicker, Anders Carlson, the rookie kicker for the Packers, very big sleeper this week. And then we have Riley Patterson. Love the matchup, but the weather does definitely scare me. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you have any fantasy football questions, drop a comment. I read every single YouTube comment. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and subscribe to our second YouTube channel, Fantasy Couch Podcast. We have lots of great content on there, and this year we're doing a lot more Dynasty content on there. So make sure you subscribe to both YouTube channels. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next video/live stream.